Rally GB, and I think it's a good idea. This is like the hors d'oeuvre, isn't it? Just before you get to the main part of the evening, the main meal, you just have your appetite whetted by a look at the cars that's slowly driving through to say, here we are, we're going to be back soon to entertain you. And so those hardy souls that have been here for hours now, rewarded by seeing the cars not yet at full speed, but this just whets your appetite, as I say, and gets you in the mood ready for what's going to happen very, very shortly. So, pristine looking cars, headlights on, and the stage commander now will organise the parking process. Well, they get their ticket stamped, I think, once they've parked, and will shortly be flagged away. There's no barrier to let them out, no, it's just a flag. So, down there, as I say, is Larry Carter, and he will be able to speak to the drivers once they have parked up as the organisers require them to. And how is that going to pan out? Liu Xiaodong is the first of them, and he is being waved into place now. The next car is that of Ken Block, who puts a bit more lock on and slots in alongside. Yes, good. Working well so far, this. The next car slotting into place, Mads Salzberg, Kimi Räikkönen, heading Solberg. He's just about there. Then Matt Wilson, and the last few cars being marshalled into place now. So I think this is just about formed up as we expected it to. And drivers, for the moment, looking a little reluctant to get out of the cars, I noticed, which therefore probably means that Larry has got to go and muscle his way in and open a door or two. Yep, and it's all looking good so far. Finds a big puddle as he lands, and then the car skips its way through the mid part of the stage. So the Ford Focus, so far so good. Doing everything absolutely right, keeping out of trouble and looking pretty quick, pretty tidy, but not overdoing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you've got to remember as well to the arena area. It's looking tidy, David.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a bit sideways, but it was properly done that because he tweaked the back of it around then, so it's angled in the right direction. He accelerates away, so Liu Xiaodong then accelerating now towards the end of the stage, and we'll try and bring you some times as well. The fireworks go off, the flames spit up, and the car accelerates its way through the stage, and this, for my money, looks a little bit faster than we saw from Liu Xiaodong earlier on.
Yeah, he certainly attacked that, did Ken Block, the most successful American Monster Energy drink, and if anything, you're quite right, David, I think he is looking a little bit quicker.
The time to beat is a 1 minute 23.7 because that is what Liu Xiaodong was able to do, and I think it's going to be a faster time, isn't it? This, despite the fact that it's a little bit more slippery, it's a bit wetter out there. Ken Block rising to the occasion. He may have had his dramas before the event, but hopefully that's got it out of his system. So 1:23. Cassini gets lots of air out of the car as he launches himself over the yump, and this again is looking pretty tidy so far. I'm not convinced it's quite as quick to the eye as Ken Block's run through the stage. Michael Orr on the notes, guiding his man through the stage, and as the rain continues to fall and the wind picks up just a little bit, that he's had a spin just at the back part of the loop. Yeah, Al Qassimi back into view now, but that I think is going to prove to be a slower time because he had a bit of an indiscretion there. That goes back to this point, you can't win it, you can lose it. Okay, it's not a massive drama, but a bit of time lost here in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely, and what you've got to
and it lands pretty well, accelerates through the stage. This does look pretty good so far, doesn't it, from Mads Salzberg? Now we're going to get quicker, no doubt, as we get to the later runners. We haven't yet had a time for Al Qassimi posted up on the live timing that we have here, as Mads 3/10 quicker than Ken Block, who did lose time. Mads Salzberg, though, is looking good, and it's always a bit of a highlight of a plan, isn't it, to have a competitive Subaru with the very distinctive engine that the car makes, and Mads Salzberg then accelerates away, but look pretty good, that, Larry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it'll be interesting to see what...
Yeah. All quick, all neat, all tidy. Finds a much tighter line through the second element. I think he's caught the puddle on the inside, so Räikkönen goes by, and looking, as I say, like a pretty effective run, this, for the Finn. The first time that we've seen him within the Wales Rally GB ranks, and so as he turns his way now up through the back part of the arena, Kimi Räikkönen comes back into view now. Hesitate for a moment, yeah, there are the headlights, so Kimi Räikkönen towards the completion of the loop, then into the arena and up towards the completion of the stage, and we'll see where this time puts him relative to the other three. Whoops, a bit wide there from Kimi, flicked him back into sight, so certainly pressing on and having to adapt to this stage, of course, for the first time.
Well, Kimi Kimi Räikkönen on the back part of the stage, which of the top drivers are, as Henning Solberg then comes through that distinctive orange livery on the Stobart M Sport Ford Rally Team entry, with Stefan Prevost in the co-driver's seat. His regular female co-driver Ilka Minot is currently injured, so
18.4, so Kimi Räikkönen then quicker than anybody within the stage to date, and we'll get a time for Henning Solberg in due course then with the Stobart M Sport Ford Rally Team run 2008 spec Ford Focus. The results this year have had a couple of sixth places, although the best results that he's had, the better two, right at the through now, over the yump, through the arena, and so Matthew Wilson with Scott Martin sitting alongside him, the 23-year-old Brit, won his very first rally back in 2003 when he was a co-driver for his dad for Malcolm Wilson on the Malcolm Wilson stages, and this year within the World Rally Championship, 5th on the Rally of Jordan. His best result, somebody else that began in circuit racing, Solberg, who has gone through in car number 6. Matthew Wilson turns his way back through the mid part of the stage, and Ford Focus, of course, trying to get it up into the order. Henning Solberg third fastest, so it's Räikkönen from Ken Block, from Solberg Senior, then Osberg, Al-Qasimi and Luqiao Dong to complete the goal.
A tough time as Mikko Hirvonen and Jarmo Lehtinen go over the jump and into the main part of the stage.
Yeah, the former Finnish Formula 2 champion then, and the man that won the opening round of the championship in Sweden. So what do we have now? We've got Matthew Wilson being second fastest and 7/10 of a second slower than Kimi Räikkönen. So 7/10 slower over 1.6 give or take kilometres of the opening stage of the event. Mikko Hirvonen then with Jarmo Lehtinen alongside him is on stage at the moment. The 30-year-old Finn with the Ford Focus, winner of the opening round of the championship. Since then he was on the podium as third place driver in Turkey, and he's had a few fourths and fifths thrown into the mix as well as he comes back through the arena now up towards, if you like, the second half of the stage. Last year he was Sebastian Loeb's main challenger really within the championship, lost out here, but it was a remarkable season for Mikko Hirvonen a year ago, and don't rule him out of.
And that should be Danny Sordo, I think, on... yes, it is. Looks like Danny Sordo, Diego Vallero. Just waiting for the times to kick in for Mikko Hirvonen, just to see whether or not he's managed to put a quicker time in. Just taking a little while to load, and I think we've got them second fastest for Hirvonen.
By 1/10 of a second slower than Kimi Räikkönen. So Räikkönen is still quickest, but only by 1/10 of a second from Mikko Hirvonen. So Citroën ahead of Ford, and it is Danny Sordo's Citroën then, the C4 WRC, that's on stage at the moment. If you like, demoted to the junior team for the final gravel rallies of the season, but somebody that on tarmac has had a good year. Second in Bulgaria, second on Rally Deutschland, second in France, second last time out in Spain, and one of the main rivals to his teammate last year, Sebastian Loeb, within the championship. Former bike racer, then moved to karting, then to saloon car racing, and then to rallying back in 2001. So he's certainly versatile, got lots of experience in all.
17.3 is absolutely obliterated it by 2.1 seconds. 2.1 seconds quicker than Kimi Räikkönen. Danny Sordo, well, El Toro, the bull, is there taking fastest time in that Citroën C4, 1:17.3. So your observations, David, absolutely 100% correct. Sordo quickest.
And so now it's Petter Solberg on the stage then. Now, is this going to be another driver, hugely popular, of course, that could be fastest on this opening stage of the night? The last man other than Sebastian Loeb to be world champion, and that's a long, long time ago, back in 2003. He won Rally GB in 2002. Here he is, back into view. The Mad Croc-sponsored Citroën then, accelerating its way up towards the end of the stage. So far, it is a 1-2 in terms of the time for Citroën drivers. Danny Sordo and Kimi Räikkönen, the two junior team drivers, being first and second within this stage. But now can the Petter Solberg World Rally Team enter Citroën C4W? 4/10 is the margin between Sordo and now Petter Solberg. Kimi Räikkönen third, Mikko Hirvonen fourth fastest, Matt Wilson fifth, and Ken Block is sixth fastest, as we now have Jari-Matti Latvala on the stage in car number 4, the next of the Ford Focuses. 25-year-old Finn, who was the winner in New Zealand and indeed in Rally Finland this year. So had a rather mixed time in 2009. He did win in Italy, but went off in 3 of the first 4 events of last year. He's had a much more consistent season this time around, and he's been a regular on the podium, hasn't he? Podium in Sweden, podium in Jordan, and in Japan as well. So Jari-Matti Latvala is certainly a driver that's going to be out there over the course of the next 3 days.
Yeah, of course, he made his World Rally car debut on Rally GB, going back as a 17-year-old in 2002, and he actually finished 17th on that particular event. So he's got a lot of experience, has Jari-Matti Latvala. Nice to see the finish be. There he goes, a little bit nose heavy.
Yeah, you're right.
Sebastien Ogier on that number 2 Citroën, the 26-year-old from Hotal in France. Julien Ingracia in the co-driver's seat in that Citroën C4 World Rally car. 2 wins in 2010. Just looking to see, Latvala goes third fastest. So Jari-Matti Latvala is third fastest. in the Ford Focus World Rally Car.
So we're waiting then for Sébastien Ogier, and of course after him it's Sébastien Loeb to complete the leading drivers through the stage. Here back into view comes Sébastien Ogier. It's looked pretty good so far tonight, hasn't it, for Citroën? And as he accelerates his way then back into the arena, up through the gears, sprints away, and the four-wheel drive helping to kick him out of the corner with a proper acceleration. You get a glimpse of the cars on the big screen. Apologies that the screen isn't fully erect because of the bad conditions we've got tonight because of the wind. So Danny Sordo the fastest, and where does very, very quickly into the arena, launched himself over the now that, for my money, looks the fastest and the most spectacular, but also the most under control of the night. That's why he's a multiple world champion, isn't it? This is Sébastien Loeb at his very, very best. That was a great entry over the jump into this spectator area within the stage, and the time he's got to beat is still the Danny Sordo time, because we haven't had an Ogier time offered to us as yet. 1:17.3 is the benchmark time, Larry.
Yeah, well, if anybody can beat it, it's got to be this man, the most successful driver in World Rally Championship history. Here he comes, he gasses it into the right hand of the Citroën C4, the 7 times World Rally Champion, back into the arena.
The time to beat is that of Sébastien Ogier. He has now gone quickest tonight. 1:16.8 seconds is Sébastien Ogier's time, which means that he's half a second quicker than Danny Sordo. The order is Ogier, Sordo, Petter Solberg as the top three. And now, where does Sébastien Loeb fit in? Don't all